So, as database research video, I decided to look into databases in MMOs RPGs. First thing, let's talk about what MMORPGs were. So, MMORPGs are games that focus in massively multiplayer online role playing games, which basically means that a lot of people play multiplayer in the same time, in the same server, and usually it follows a role playing model, which is you create an avatar, you play as the avatar, you level up, and you collect resources to make your avatar stronger. The most popular games are World of Warcraft and RuneScape, and my personal favorite is Guild Wars 2. So, MMOs are massive. They have giant servers which people can explore giant worlds, and also there are a bunch of people at the same time in that world. So it kind of becomes an interesting problem for databases because first you need to make sure everyone can log in, put their password. Their password needs to be safe. So you need this database for logging in and logging out. Make sure everything is correct so they can access their characters in their account. And also the other part is that these maps are usually huge. They have cities, forests. They are massive worlds, and also everything in the game is lootable. So when you kill a creature, you get loot. So you have all your equipment like headpiece, chest piece, shoulder piece, pants. You also have consumables like potions, foods. So it's kind of like overwhelming of how big and how much stuff you need to keep track of because there's just so many things in this. Um, I researched and I found out that MySQL and EDB are usually the biggest ones are being used by companies. For example, World of Warcraft use MySQL, SQL, and Second Life also uses MySQL. EDB is used by Sony Online Entertainment. So I've been researching and I found two really interesting websites. This first one talks about what are the biggest problems usually in MMO games with databases, which talks about it needing to be reliable. The servers can't crash because people will lose progress in the games, like hours and hours spent to get that one headpiece that is really valuable. And then if there's any problems in the database and the servers aren't reliable, they could lose a lot of their time and effort in doing stuff. The other big problem is being safe because these games usually have trading, so people need to be sure that no one will enter their account and just like trade off their most valuable items to someone else, or just deleting characters and stuff like that. And also, the second one is really interesting because he kind of gives a overview of how uh, game companies structure their database. So, for example, here shows that there's first a login. He checks for login time, and then password. And then you go to your character. That your character will have its own information, and then there's membership stuff because some games have like VIP stuff, DLC, and stuff like that. It also goes to the whole world because these worlds are usually massive. They have a lot of areas. Some are as big as like an actual planet. Some are space, sci-fi, so it's the universe, and these tend to get really big. And then you have to make sure that every player is in a different. Every player is in the same server, but at the same time you can crowd one server. So also the resources, like I said, items that are that enemies drop, like headpieces, food, potions, and stuff like that. So all the resources get saved too. And that was really interesting to see how dependable MMOs are to databases. And that's my video. Thank you for watching.